Welcome to PD on the Go, the podcast that delivers bite-sized learning on communication, collaboration, and facilitation for busy teacher leaders. Tune in while you're in the car, on your break, or making copies, and get ready to level up your leadership skills. My name is Hallie Case, and I'm an educational specialist for professional development in the Office of Professional Learning for Fairfax County Public Schools, and I'm joined by my three teammates.
Hi, I'm Mary Beth Anderson.
I'm Rebecca Hazelbeck.
And Erica Williams. Hello.
So on today's episode, we're going to talk about active listening. And this is really going to be a two-parter because there's a lot to unpack around active listening and really why it's considered a top leadership skill. And so we're going to tackle that topic today. So Rebecca, we're going to start with this question, and I think that you have some good insight on this. So tell us a little bit about why listening is considered one of those top leadership skills.
When I think about teams, I always think about new individuals that come into a team and how important it is to develop trust. And one of the things you do when you're listening to other people is you develop that relationship and that trust between the other person. And I think it's just so important when someone comes to you that you stop what you're doing, whether you're typing an email or whatever it is you might be doing, and that you really just come out from behind yourself, you pause, and you really truly sit back and listen to that person, because that's how you're going to build a relationship, and that's how you're going to build the trust. Erica's really good at listening. So Erica, what do you think?
Thanks, Rebecca. I also think that listening can help to deepen collaboration, and it's also like an opportunity to really get to know the person in front of you, to understand them deeply, and to be able to clarify, like if there's something that you don't understand, you have to be able to be present enough to hear what that individual is saying to really be able to work together to boost that partnership. Yeah, what do you think, Mary Beth?
I think there's not many times that we are often truly listened to, and so it really is, it's special. You do build that trust when someone is in rapport with you, they're listening to understand you, they are asking questions, they're clarifying. It really supports you in that person is there for you and they want to work together for a better outcome or a better cause. And so I think that's why it's also a top leadership skill, because in our fast-paced world, that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah. And you just named a couple things like rapport, collaboration. So let's unpack those a little bit. What does it mean to truly listen to another person?
Well, I first think it means to stop and completely pause, like lean in, and maybe that is like physically moving away from the desk and standing up and meeting that person eye to eye. So your body language matters because you want to show visibly that you care about what the other person has to say. So maybe your eyes are looking in that person's direction, and there are gestures that actually you may mirror the other individual, because all of that shows that you acknowledge the other person and really care about what it is they have to say.
Yeah, and I think it's so important to listen to understand them and where they're coming from and what they might need, and not just to figure out what I'm going to say next to that person. Like, I truly care about what you're saying and what you need today, and I'm here to listen to you fully.
Yeah.
I think it's it's thinking not necessarily about what you're going to say next. And for me, sometimes it's like also not thinking about what I'm going to do next, of like, I got to finish this conversation so that I can go do this next thing. And that's a tricky one. I think that's something that I've learned a lot. Erica is really, I think, our top listener. And I'm more aware of my listening when I'm talking with Erica. Because I'm like, I got to do a good job. I got to show her I'm really listening. But even not even as a leadership skill, just for relationships. Right? Like, so we were catching up this morning. We hadn't seen each other in a month. And I, like, my phone's dinging and I'm thinking about emails, and I had to, like, really focus to stay present. And I interrupted her a couple times. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just maintaining the relationship and being present with the other person for us.
So true, Hallie. And I think about some of the best leaders in my life, and the ones who I stuck with through the hardest times, right? And the one thing they always did was listen, and they showed they were listening in different ways. Like they would bring up an idea that I had in a big group meeting or something like that. Really shows that you're listening and you really care about those people, and that makes you want to be around those types of people as well. Helps with retention.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's a gift to have someone truly listen to you, right? And you see when they bring something up later that they really paid attention to in a conversation, it's a deposit into that relationship, right? And so I think when Erica was sharing, I was really trying to like return that gift.
Yes,
Right?
that's
Because we
right.
know how good it feels to really be listened to. And the best leaders are great listeners.
Yeah. So we're going to talk more in next week's episode about, okay, so if you want to become a better listener, what do you do? Because I do think it's true, at least for myself and many people that we've worked with, we all think we're better listeners than we actually are. And there are ways to get better at it.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, like what are some things that leaders can do to practice this skill? And I think there's two pieces, like the mindset piece and then the practical, like outward application. So what would be this episode's like one thing that we would say that you could practice? So what do you think, Erica?
I would say after an individual has shared a response, pause for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then offer a paraphrase back, which could be to sort of summarize what they said, organize their thinking. And that would probably be my first two tips
Okay.
to enhance listening skills. Yeah. Yeah.
So pause. 2 to 3 seconds. So that to me is like the length of a breath in and out.
Yes.
Right? To monitor that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're excited to get to continue talking more about this topic next week. And as always, you can find us on our Instagram account, which is at FCPS_PD. Thank you so much for tuning in this week to PD on the Go, and we'll talk to you again next time.